Hi guys, I'm Christy Clogs and welcome to my brand new content sequence that I'm calling Series-us Discussions, where we talk about book series that I've finished, where I let you know what they're about and what I think of them. This first video is going to be a basic description of what I'm going to do with this series and what you guys might get out of it. So I thoroughly recommend giving it a view if you're watching the eventual sequence that's going to be made, all in order as a playlist, purely because this is going to be a video I refer back to an awful lot in the future. Now, I've been thinking about the kind of content I could publish daily. Smaller, bite-sized content that's still relevant to you guys and that I can make relatively quickly for you all to benefit from. At the point where I'm making this video, this channel is totally still in its infancy, so things may change as time goes on, but at the minute, this series is all about making digestible content about book series that I've enjoyed and I think you guys should try out. In each video, I'm going to talk about a different book series, but there are going to be several provisos to inclusion in this particular content sequence. Firstly, and most understandably, I have to have actually read these books in order for me to talk you through them, give my honest opinions, and make recommendations as to whether you should read them or not. So I promise from this point onwards, I will have read every single book I hold up and show to this camera. Secondly, I want to focus on complete series. So if I know there are still upcoming releases in a set of books, I'm going to hold off on sharing my opinions of them until the entire series is finished. There is one scenario in which this may not apply, but I am thinking that this particular unfinished, more than a series, warrants its own content sequence on here as we get closer to the release of the next book. So keep your eyes peeled for that, but unless it is a very, very, very special circumstance, I will only be talking about completed series on here. So you know, if you get a recommendation as part of this playlist, that you can go beginning to end and read all of the books non-stop. Only finished pieces are making it into this playlist. Now, the third proviso is that the set of books I'm discussing has to be a series in one sense or another. I don't know, you're thinking, Christy, that's obvious from the title, but just to remove ambiguity, there are certain things that I think make a set of books a series of books. The most obvious one is if the author themselves or the publishing house identifies those books as part of a series. Tessa Bailey is a really good example of where you can open the front of one of her books and see her published works grouped together with series titles underneath them all. The books that are grouped together with a specific group series title given to them are clearly all meant to be individual series. So I wouldn't hesitate to make a video about those clumped together texts. They are series, they have been designated by such as the author and the publishing house, and quite often they also have names as a series. More often than not, the narrative flows directly from one book to another. So even if an author hasn't out and out said, these books are part of the same series, if they've only published a few books and the characters go from one to the next, even if it's sibling books, they still count if they are part of the same universe and they happen in a chronological order that roughly lines up with the release order the author's gone for. Then I'm going to treat those books in and of themselves as a series, though there is no definite proof that that series is completely finished yet in those rare cases. So I will try and use my own logic and brain to decide if I feel like we're done yet. Or I may stipulate at the beginning of the video that the series may not be finished yet, but there are enough books in it that I want to discuss that make it worthy of inclusion in this series. I'm giving myself some wiggle room ahead of time because I foresee a couple of instances where this may crop up. So, using the bookshelves behind me, I can tell you that the Celestial books over here, they are a trilogy, okay? The characters, the setting, the narrative goes book 1, 2, 3. There's a whole arc. You have to read them together for them to make sense. The same applies for the Mirror Visitor books up in that top corner. you read them in order 1, 2, 3. It is one story and it hits the beats across the 3 books. However, the Emily Henry section above my shoulder here is all full of individual standalone books. We may get very, very loose mentions of characters existing in other places, which does definitely happen there, but they are not a book series. They are so far removed from each other that that's simply not the case. The same would appear for someone like Mariana Zapata. Her books may all exist in the same universe, but they are not part of series at all. I hope those definitions make sense. They do to me, and I've allowed myself enough wiggle room that you'll basically be at my whim as time goes on and as I pick up different books and get the urge to discuss them with you. Outside of that, this sequence is just me wanting to tell you about the books that have made me excited, and I love book series specifically, and they're getting their own playlist because you get so much more time with the characters, with the world, with the way that author writes. I feel like you can, more often than not, get so much more from a series than you can a single standalone novel, purely because of time. So I hope you come to enjoy this series, and if you're coming across this X amount of time in the future, I hope there are a decent amount of them that you can simply play through and get a ton of recommendations of books that I've personally read and I think, hey, yeah, these are the stuff. I'm looking to launch 2 other sequences here on TikTok that are going to focus on other kinds of books or not books. You'll get what I mean if you're looking at my profile at some time in the future, and you can see how I've sectioned these playlists out. But these videos are going to be released interspersed with those. So you're not just going to have me coming on here and talking about complete series of books every single day. I don't want to be boring, you know? I'll mix it up. Add a little bit of spice. So if this sounds like your kind of jam and you think, yeah, these series as discussions are hitting the nail on the head for me, then give me a follow, give this video a cheeky like, and comment on this video with books that you think I absolutely should be talking about on here in the future. I'm really keen to hear about the books that have got you excited and you want discussing here as part of this series. So don't forget to like this video, subscribe to my channel, and you can find me on loads of social media platforms under the name @ChristyClogs. So come, be my friend, let's talk about books together. I really hope you like this new sequence of videos. After all, I'm making them for you guys. As always, I'll see you later, alligators, and I wish you the best of luck as you watch through this playlist. Thanks for watching this video.